So as you were at the break, Kerry continuing to lead by 5 points. And we've got some news from the sideline now from Marty.
Just to note, Ger, that Willie Kirby got an injection in his shoulder at half-time, and he seemed to be extremely doubtful. But Paddy O'Shea gave him a bit of a pep talk and said, "You're doing this one for Kerry." So just keep an eye on Willie's shoulder.
He's doing very well so far, back in the hunt again, linking up with Darragh O'Shea. They have a very good partnership. Criticised after the Munster final. Well, they're playing well this afternoon in the really big one here. Maurice Fitzgerald taking it on, and the man he's taking on, Pat Holmes. A kick by Fitzgerald that sails over the bar. Everything he does this afternoon is producing something positive, and that lady and those fans there are mighty pleased, Kerry people. Fitzgerald with 7 points. It's a wonderful contribution, and the lead has stretched.
Any doubts, Ger, about the temperament of Maurice Fitzgerald to do it on the big day or the spell? An incredible display here of the most skillful footballer probably ever to play in Croke Park. But why are Mayo leaving Pat Holmes on him?
Yes, at this stage you probably would be considering that Kenneth Mortimer should be taking up that responsibility. Instead, it's Mortimer against Darragh O'Cinneide. O'Cinneide kicking it in, seeking out Maurice Fitzgerald. Holmes beaten for pace. And Maurice Fitzgerald still with possession, toying almost with the Mayo backline. Mortimer did well. That's a switch I wonder if they may consider. Into Liam McHale. James Nallen saying, "Give it to me." An accurate punt ahead to Pat Fallon. Trying to take it around Darragh O'Shea, who was not outfoxed, and the referee saw the foul by Fallon, who stretched in the boot that time to try and dispossess O'Shea. And the linesman here was Brian Crowe from Cavan, getting Darragh to bring it back onto the correct position. 65 metres out, in towards Liam Hassett. Again, it's David Heaney back there, trying to help the Mayo cause. Trying to build something with Liam McHale involved in the move. The hand pass to Noel Kennelly, and again Flaherty got in a good timely shoulder. Parlade is in there. Picked up very well by the fullback, Barry O'Shea. Out to William Kirby. The Tralee man kicks it in deep. Great ball in. Picked up here by Johnny Crowley. Here's a goal chance, and again it's stopped by the goalkeeper. Superb goalkeeping by Peter Burke. That's 2 certain goals he's averted during the second half, which is only 8 minutes old. Kerry were seeking to put Mayo out of sight in this final. Instead, it's McMenamin trying to be the provider this time. McHale was calling for it. They go along towards David Nestor, and it's taken chest high by Killian Burns. Very assured play by the cornerback, and a good ball out to William Kirby. It was Darragh O'Shea who was prominent in the first half, Kirby in the second, and Johnny Crowley again. Where's the marking again, you wonder? And an easy one, unchallenged by the substitute. Johnny Crowley's first point.
Well, the reason for that is Johnny Crowley is now playing at centre forward. James Nallen went on a long run up the field, didn't get back. Kerry broke up the attack and got the ball quickly down to John Crowley, who takes a very easy point. Mayo must put the ball dead when they get it up if their half-backs are going to be moving up in attack.
Kerry 11, Mayo 4. It's something you said earlier, Colin, when they had to take Dermot Flanagan off. Every line of the Mayo team was disrupted by that one move.
Yes, and they're playing like that, still totally disorganised and getting no ball in the middle of the field, really.
Referee holding up the play, and John Maughan has worked so hard after the last few years to try and build an All-Ireland winning team. Went so close last year. McHale against Darragh O'Shea in the throw ball situation, with a taller man winning in this instance. Putting it out here to James Horan. This is where they need his inspiration, like he produced last year with 8 marvellous points in 2 games, to McMenamin, and this time he puts it over the bar. His first point of the day, and they need an awful lot more where that came from. There's still a huge portion of this game still to play if Mayo are good enough.
James Horan did very well there, getting it off to Colin McMenamin. And after missing a few scores earlier, he had to be brave to go for that one. Could have even put his head down and gone for a goal, I think, in that position, because it looks as if Mayo might need to get a goal to win this game.
I think you can be certain of that at this stage. McHale coming to gather. Lovely catch. Pat Fallon. He's got some latitude here. Darragh O'Shea's chasing after him. It's still Fallon, 20 metres out. And he's hit it off the post. Back to Seamus Moynihan. And Kerry breathe a huge sigh of relief. That should have been a score. This is Dennis O'Dwyer instead on the counter-attack for Kerry. Now Maurice Fitzgerald. Wonderfully assured play, but the pass that time just going over the head of Liam Hassett, taken by James Nallen instead. That's James Horan into the corner. Playing in the corner there is David Nestor right now. Out it comes to Stephen Stack. Jersey pulled initially. Referee says play on. Eamon Breen getting his kick downfield. Liam Hassett being challenged there by Fergal Costello. It's won back here by Pat Holmes. Liam McHale, again the hand pass towards David Nestor, and toe poked away by Killian Burns to his team captain Liam Hassett, holding it up. Hassett now been marked by Pat Holmes in a switch they've made in the last few minutes. Going by Holmes, kicking from about 25 metres out, but he puts it to the right. Kerry's fourth wide. A player who'll be hoping to take the Sam Maguire Cup back with him for Paddy's team. Paddy still very much on his feet and calling out the instructions, looking a bit edgy. So Liam McHale then committing the foul, free to Kerry in midfield. Eamon Breen will be the taker. Dennis O'Dwyer doing well in the second half against David Heaney, and he wins the free, and Maurice Fitzgerald about to come out and take it. Kerry have gone their longest spell ever in their history in football without an All-Ireland title, and this man about to take the free, one of the most talented players they've ever produced, and yet to win that elusive medal. 4 out of 4 from his frees so far in this match. They're packed into the canal end, watching every movement that Maurice Fitzgerald makes. So this popular teacher from Cahusavine, the 27-year-old, about to hit this one just inside the 45-metre line. He swings it well. Has it gone insufficiently? Not quite. First one he's missed this afternoon. Arguably the pick of the bunch so far was that one he hit from an acute angle in the first half with his left boot from a free. That was an absolute beauty. And Peter Burke has certainly not let the side down this afternoon, having made 2 great saves. One of those players who's played championship without ever having played in the National League. Darragh O'Shea coming to try and catch. He drops it down, and that's enough to allow Pat Fallon and Colin McMenamin to try and build something. Again, McMenamin goes long, and a chance perhaps presenting itself there. Diarmuid Byrne was the player, and it's a penalty. Mayo have got a break. Barry O'Shea deemed to have pulled down Diarmuid Byrne. It looked pretty innocuous, I must say. And Paddy O'Shea won't be one bit happy. But it's a lifeline for Mayo. We'll get a chance again in a moment perhaps to see the incident. It's going to be Kieran MacDonald who would take it. His side are 6 points behind. We are now just 14, nearly 15 minutes into the second half. Declan O'Keefe is poised. He's studied penalties, I can tell you, in the past of Mayo players. But I think he was expecting if there was a penalty, it would be Sheridan. It's MacDonald instead. And he's cracked it home. Mayo are right back in this All-Ireland final. 15 minutes into the second half. The West is awake. Mayo are back. That was a brilliantly taken penalty by Kieran MacDonald, hit with precision to the goalkeeper's left and right into the corner. A dream kick.
Fabulous penalty kick by Kieran MacDonald, a player who's going badly, and it took a great nerve to do that. Harmless looking penalty. Would like to see that one again.
3 points separate the teams. Mayo, who are almost dead and buried, looking rudderless, lacking cohesion, are back in the hunt. Now what will be the Kerry reaction to that? Pat Fallon, again trying to build from a deep position. Carried forward with pace. Heaney coming up from wing back, trying to engineer something. Back towards James Horan, and he's kicked another one. It's gone over the bar. James Horan, a man for the big occasion, if ever there were one. His first point today, but his 9th point in All-Ireland finals. That's a vital one, because now the margin is down to 2 points. Well, we did say that if Mayo got a goal, they'd be back in it, and
yes,
that's the situation.
That's a great kick from James Horan, who kicked similar points to that in last year's final. Now we have a real match.
Colin McMenamin has picked up the kick out, trying to take it forward again and trying to torment Flaherty. Here's the kick. Horan again kicking, and again he lands a beauty. 2 in a row from James Horan. The All-Ireland final is firmly alive. There's a point in it, and John Mahon and his lads have got a lifeline, and Horan has begun to play. I think he's giving the answer to the mentors who omitted him in the first place.
James Horan is a big game player. He showed that in last year's final, came into it without much of a reputation, left with a big one, didn't play well this year, but now he's brought Mayo back into this final.
Pat Fallon contesting in midfield, keeping it away from Darragh O'Shea. This time it's David Heaney advancing. Colin McMenamin has it. Mayo now looking for the equaliser. Didn't look on about 3 minutes ago. In towards David Nestor. A chance to kick one here. Oh, has he got it right? He's put it to the left, and it's in play still. O'Keefe back to Seamus Moynihan. Kerry have persisted with Moynihan back in that full back line. Perhaps his influence is needed out around the half back line. Liam Hassett. He's won a lot of possession. Parlate kicking again with that trusty left boot down towards Darragh Kinnader, who's had very little possession in the second half, thanks to the marking there of Kenneth Mortimer. James Nellen now, again Liam McHale, so much happier out around midfield. Didn't look himself at all when he was in the fringe of the small rectangle. McMenamin in towards the penalty kicker, Kieran MacDonald. And really in the end, a kind of nothing pass ahead, favouring absolutely nobody bar the Kerry goalkeeper. Moynihan kicking out towards Liam Hassett, who was being well marked, and John Mahon is over there on the sideline to give it back to his team quickly. He's urging them on. That lady there is urging her team on as well. All the Mayo fans believe they can now bridge the 46-year gap, but we have 17 minutes to go. And again possession kicked away there from the sideline. And Diarmaid Byrne and some of the others wondering just why that was such an inaccurate punt ahead. John Casey looking ruefully there at his team captain Noel Kennelly.
It's a bad mistake by Noel Kennelly. Kerry very much under pressure at the moment, and they're getting a chance to reorganise.
Well, we're about to have another change, and that looks to be Donald Daly is coming in. What change that they're going to make? William Kirby is going off. As you heard, he had to get an injection on a shoulder injury at half-time, so he is off. He certainly played his part during that match. So Daly has come on. In midfield, it's hoofed forward there by Eamon Breen towards Maurice Fitzgerald. The kick ahead quickly to Dennis O'Dwyer. Kerry now at the other end trying to build. Liam Hassett looking for a goal, trying to get something in there. Appeals that he was being swung around, back in towards Darragh Kinnader, slightly off balance, and he's put it to the left. Kerry's 5th wide. They were looking so menacing as they built that time. Kickouts taken quickly to Pat Fallon. What a transformation in this match, but still Kerry ahead by just a point. Fallon will take the free kick. James Horan, the man who was very hot just at this particular phase of the game, and whooshed out over the sideline by Eamon Breen.
Kerry should have taken an easy point there to get things settled down.
Breen towards Maurice Fitzgerald, now coming out around the 40, taking Pat Holmes out with him. Dennis O'Dwyer getting the control on the ball, the pass to Fitzgerald. Again, the big one, really going for it, and he's put it away to the right-hand side. A couple have gone astray from him now in the second half. I remember down in Limerick, he missed a few in the Munster final, and we were waiting to do the interviews afterwards, and Paddy said to him before we could talk, Maurice, we asked you to bring a number 9 iron with you today, and Maurice said, I know, Paddy, I brought the driver instead. Kerry's last score, 8 minutes, you know. In the second half, scored by Johnny Crowley, taken down by Darragh O'Shea. And he is held back by Liam McHale. Free is quickly taken into the man who's now in there in the full forward line, Liam Hassett. And again, he's missed this one. Are they kicking the final away? That's what the Kingdom fans are now wondering, I'm sure.
Well, Kerry are now showing that they can score as many bad wides as Mayo did the first half, running up a series there when they need a point just to settle them down.
14 minutes to go. And the wind is picking up. It's favouring Kerry. And the last 5 shots there have been 5 wides. Heaney trying to restore a bit of order to Mayo. Flicked away there by Maurice Fitzgerald, and the linesman right on the spot to see it. Heaney will be the taker, the youngster. In over the head of Flaherty. Casey trying to go for it and really not making much of an attempt to get it. Instead, it's the stout-hearted Eamon Breen who belts it back defiantly. Fisted by Nallen, won by Kennelly. Can he inspire the side to come back into the match? Colin McMenamin in towards the man who's got in there, David McByrne. Oh, that's going to be a free out. Doesn't count. I think he was hoping perhaps to be wrestled down a second time, although I must say the challenge that felled him for the penalty looked terribly innocuous. But they all count. Mayo scored it after 15 minutes, and they're right back in the chase for the Sam once again. Declan O'Keefe about to take this free for Kerry. Pat Fallon under it, great catch, taking it down with some style. He's negatived the influence of Darragh O'Shea during the second half. That's been very noticeable. Again, the referee may opt to throw the ball in, but he's waving it as though it's going to be a Kerry free kick. Liam McHale, the player, and indeed it is a Kerry kick. The pulled down was Darragh O'Shea. Stephen Stack about to take the free. Maurice Fitzgerald coming, jumping ahead there, taking a wonderful catch ahead of Pat Holmes. Morris, nice control, lovely style. The referee saw the jersey being dragged back. The innocent look on the face of Pat Holmes says it all, but there's also a little smile there. It's going to be a free to Kerry, and Maurice Fitzgerald has scored 7 points so far in this match. I think 5 points from frees out of 6 attempts so far.
Maurice Fitzgerald showing today too that he can win his own ball, getting up in front there on several occasions. Most noticeably that time getting up in front of Pat Holmes and winning it cleanly. But Kerry need a point badly.
Well, he's needed it today. He's shown us a streak of aggression which has been necessary. And from the frees, as always, he's near perfect. Another one. 8 points in all for Maurice Fitzgerald. And Kerry flags. And indeed I see a Brazilian flag in there as well, flying triumphant.
It'd be a good time now, Ger, I think, for Kerry to be bringing on Michael Francis Russell. The game has loosened up, and he's the sort of player who could do a bit of damage.
2 between them. Yes, Mike Frank with the point and goal touch. Eamon Breen just getting it back towards Liam Flaherty. The race won out here by Kenneth Mortimer, setting up Colin McMenamin. Players moving to the right, to the left of him. And in the end, he fouls the ball, and it's going to be a free downfield. Just when Mayo had the chance to do something with it, a lapse of concentration, he hopped the ball too many times. Maurice Fitzgerald trying to break it down to himself. He really has been annoying the Mayo backs all afternoon. They've been unable to stay with him. Dennis O'Dwyer trying to profit, but the kick is a poor one. Johnny Crowley coming back to take up his position there. He's now operating at centre half forward, being marked by James Nallen. Mike Frank Russell being prepared, and he will be in, I think, for the last 10 minutes of this. Mayo coming forward, Nallen. Again, it's the point scorer, James Horan, but this time he swings it instinctively, but he's booted it up into the canal end and wide of the target. And Mike Frank Russell has just come in to give the little slip of paper to the referee. and we wait to see just who's about to make way. It looks like it's going to be Dara O'Kineda. So Dara O'Kineda goes, Mike Frank is on.
Well, Kenneth Mortimer is after seeing off Dara O'Kineda twice now in big games in Croke Park, but Michael Francis Russell is a different type of player altogether.
Great catch by Dara O'Shea, just when Kerry needed it. It's taken away from the attentions of Pat Fallon. This is Donald Daly, the second sub to be introduced by Kerry this afternoon. Liam Hassett. They need another score here just to settle the nerves a little bit. Remember, there are only two between them, and Pat Fallon has won it back again. Nicely forward here. Fergal Costello tearing through the heart of the Kerry defence. He got a great point in the semi-final, but this time he tries to link up with MacDonald when he perhaps should have gone for the score himself. He was about 25 metres out. Seamus Moynihan kicking it to the totally unmarked Donald Daly. Fallon is standing back from him. In towards Mike Frank Russell it comes. First ball, first possession against Kenneth Mortimer. The hand pass to Paul Lade. His marker standing back from him somewhat, and Lade comes forward. Here's a goal chance, and again the goalkeeper does wonderfully well. Peter Burke denies Dennis O'Dwyer, and Kerry will have felt they might have got a third goal there. Wonderful goalkeeping by Peter Burke. James Nallen coming tearing down the field, trying to give the leadership, linking up with David Nestor, trying to hold off the attentions of Killian Burns, his marker. Still David Nestor. Players showing great pride in the county colours. Eamon Breen, none better. Three Mayo players there against Mike Frank Russell. Coming out to try and win this is Kenneth Mortimer. In the end, it's going to be a sideline ball for Mayo. There's wonderful pace in this match. I make it about 7 minutes to go. Pat Fallon. James Nallen just ahead of him there, didn't receive the pass. It'll be a free to Mayo instead. Liam Hassett standing over the injured player. And Mayo about to make another change. And coming in for Mayo, PJ Loftus, the man who's got goals in the past when they were badly, badly needed. Remember the All-Ireland final last year? Remember the game against Galway in Tuam last May?
Well, if Mayo win this final, they'll certainly put up a statue to Peter Burke in Kiltimagh after
David
three
Nestor's
brilliant saves that he has made in this game.
It'll be Pat Fallon to take the free. David Nestor's gone off. So now Mayo have shown us their full hand. All three subs have been introduced. And Colin McMenamin was wrestled down to the ground by Flaherty, free into Mayo. So this to put one between them. Kieran MacDonald, scorer of a goal and a point so far. The goal from a penalty after 15 minutes of the second half. Again, a real pressure kick here. Oh, he's put it low and straight into the waiting arms of Stephen Stack. Out to Seamus Moynihan. Moynihan down to Dara O'Shea. Oh, that was a glorious chance for Mayo to have put the minimum between the teams. Maurice Fitzgerald rising up for it, but the break of the ball favours Mayo this time. Nallen onto Noel Kennelly. Kennelly was pulled back by Liam Hassett. Free kick for Mayo. And the referee wants a little word with Liam Hassett, and they play away over there, but the notebook's out and Hassett has his name taken. He's the only player in the final so far to have been booked by referee Brian White. I think the referee decided in the end his patience was wearing a bit thin, and Hassett had been guilty of persistent dragging players back. Free is taken. The break favouring Kerry this time. Dara O'Shea towards Johnny Crowley. Challenged by Fergal Costello, showing tenacity now, the man operating at left corner back. May have a player down on the ground injured. They're down to 14 effectively right now. The kick inside by McMenamin, in towards Diarmuid Byrne. Barry O'Shea into MacDonald, it comes. Oh, the pass back into space. And Kerry got a chance to get the ball away. Still the pressure on the Kerry backline. Byrne kicking it in, but very much off balance. And the ball has gone wide.
Great chance for Mayo there. Could have ended up in the net. But down at the other end, we had seen Peter Burke pulling off a couple of incredible saves. And I suppose none more so than that last one from Dennis Dwyer. Point blank save, got down very well, smothered the shot.
The kick out this time will be for Kerry and for Declan O'Keefe. Just over 4 minutes to go. That's held well by Eamon Breen, operating most effectively at right half back. A line ball coming up here for Mayo. One of those matches where you can't take your eyes off the screen for a second. Paddy O'Shea in the background, looking concerned and worried. James Horan about to kick. Dropped in, Flaherty coming across. He's so tough, very strong, takes up good positions. It comes out to Breen once more, relieving the pressure on his defence with a long kick towards Johnny Crowley. This is parlayed, others stood back. Lade showed his pace, it's still parlayed. Pat Holmes trying to keep it away from the danger zone. It's Kenneth Mortimer for Mayo. Can they build now from their own end line virtually? Again, it's their magnificent goalkeeper Peter Burke here. Now Pat Holmes out to Fergal Costello. They pick out MacDonald, but they really need him in front of goal right now. He's out around the middle of the field being chased by Stephen Stack. The kick into space, on it goes here. A chance perhaps of a late score, and that's gone away to the right there. PJ Loftus, his first contribution to kick the wide. My goodness, they've had chances. There was that free, there was that last chance there, and Kerry continue to hang on here by their fingertips.
Well, this is the game of misses, none more so than this one, but credit to Peter Burke. But there was a free Kerry man in front of the goals, poor option taken there by Dennis O'Dwyer.
Mayo have 12 wides in this match, Kerry just 8. Pat Fallon, are Mayo to be losers for the second year in a row? There's just about 2 minutes to go. They're 2 points behind. Pat Fallon trying to hold on to it, and Eamon Breen adjudged to have fouled him. It'll be a free from just outside the 13-metre line. Well, MacDonald is coming to take it again. Kieran MacDonald having missed the last one, or is it John Casey? Perhaps Casey will leave it there for the number 13. He's got 2 out of 4 frees so far. This is much more difficult than the one he missed, which was more or less in front of goal, but which he mishit. Again, huge pressure. Cheering on the canal end. And again, he's missed it. Such a high-pressure occasion. And he's so disappointed, John Mahon. Right now, they could be level.
Yes, Kieran MacDonald guilty of 2 very bad misses from frees after fluffing the first one. He probably should have taken that one from his hands.
Kerry have scored just 4 points in the second half so far. But that will not matter. They've over 1 minute and 15 of actual playing time still to go. Possession now absolutely vital. Dennis O'Dwyer cops a high one there after he took possession. He was fouled by PJ Loftus, and the animated Paddy O'Shea over there. All of the selectors in near the perimeter of the field here, and Dave Gainey, the team doctor, about to come in to attend to Dennis O'Dwyer, who got possession very well, but took a hefty challenge then from PJ Loftus, and he was the player, of course, who was forced out of the semi-final because of a very heavy knock. This is what happened. A high elbow, really.
Yes, a very high elbow there by PJ Loftus, and Dennis Dwyer had done very, very well to win that ball. A vital kick out to win for Kerry. Kerry need to just defend in depth now with time running out.
Just taking a look at the scoring chances created by both sides this afternoon, Colm, and it's interesting, they've created identical tallies. 25 chances created by each team. Kerry has taken 12, Mayo just 8.
Some of the wides that Mayo have had, of course, have been absolutely incredible. Easy frees, straight in front of the goals. And there you have Dennis Dwyer getting injured again, very bravely winning that ball.
So Aoife Niwuri going in to attend to him alongside Dave Gainey. And they were very concerned after the semi-final because it was a very hefty knock on the ground that he received that day. Everybody looking so expectant and tense. People looking very edgy. We're well into injury time. Kerry aware that a late chance presenting itself to Mayo for a possible goal, and Mayo will be there to take it. So now it's at the discretion of the referee. Darragh O'Shea kicking this one. And again, the Mayo defence trying to block it out somehow. Out by Fergal Costello, out to Noel Kennelly, trying to construct a move. Heaney was beaten for Brett Flaherty, kept his eyes on the ball the whole time, was very assured, and that's going to be a free downfield to take some further pressure off. Maurice Fitzgerald, inevitably, the one who engineers the free.
Yes, and Maurice should try and kick this one for a point or kick it wide, get the ball out of play, waste more time. But again, Noel Kennelly with a very bad foot pass there, giving the ball away to Liam Flaherty when he should have been setting up a Mayo attack.
So Maurice Fitzgerald kicks this one deep, right in there, and it's gone over the bar, and that's surely now going to ensure that Kerry, at the very least, don't lose here this afternoon. Fitzgerald has got 9 points, and it's all over, and Kerry have won back the All-Ireland title after a gap of 11 years. Champions last in 1986. They have just won their 31st All-Ireland title, and Maurice Fitzgerald was superb. 9 points out of a winning tally, and he has a big smile on his face, smiles among the fans as well. The gap has been bridged. The famine, as they say, is at an end for Kerry. They celebrate, well they might, and Kerry fans everywhere trying to get out onto Croke Park, because Kerry have won back the Sam Maguire Cup. The centre of attention very firmly is Maurice Fitzgerald. They just scored 5 points in the second half, but that was enough in a tight enough finish. Fitzgerald got 6 out of 7 from frees this afternoon, and he got 3 out of 4 from play. So a wonderful average, and Paddy O'Shea has done it. He has masterminded their victory in the 97 championship. Kerry are on top of the pile once again, and defeat is Mayo's lot for the second year in a row. Fate can be so cruel, but Mayo made an awful start. They got right back into it with a penalty after 15 minutes of the second half, converted splendidly by Kieran MacDonald. But Kerry had aces, none greater than Maurice Fitzgerald. Killian Burns, I'm sure that accordion or the box will get a lash tonight at the victory celebrations. And Kerry will be travelling by air back to Farranfore tomorrow night. And what a reception they can expect when they reach Tralee. So many people down there